In 2008, I performed self-breast examinations 2 to 3 months, and I know I should be performing them every month, but I didn't do it mainly because of fear. My mom died from complications of breast cancer and two of her sisters, and so I've always feared that I would find it. So I got kind of in the routine of knowing where my lumps were, and so when I ran across the lump, I knew immediately that I had never felt that before, and it was different. I was in shock. I was in denial. A lot of emotions ran through me. When you discover a lump and you know that it's cancer, your life becomes a blur. I went to my primary care physician. She examined me. She referred me to a surgeon. I went to see him. It was very quick, like within the day or two. He sent me to have a mammogram. He told me it was confirmed that it definitely was cancer and we have to have surgery as soon as possible would be better. And there was so many decisions to be made, so many options, and I was so confused. And for surgery day, the chaplain was here. Actually was a survivor, and she stayed with me and she prayed with me, and she stayed until they took me back for surgery. The nurses were just so very awesome and patient and loving. It's just the support here is just unbelievable and priceless. Going into the surgery, I was just a wreck. I was nervous. I was anxious. I had no clue what my body would look like afterwards, but I had no clue really how hard it was going to be to deal with the scars. And I still struggle with it. And so when I went through the breast cancer, I knew that no matter what I looked like on the outside, I was a caring person and a loving person, and nothing could change that. I remember as a very tall African-American nurse, I don't know her name, but I'll never forget her face, and I'll never forget what she did for me. When I pushed a button, she walked with me to the bathroom, and for some reason, I needed to see what I looked like after the breast was gone. And so I walked there, and she stood behind me, and I opened my gown, and I looked at my breast completely gone, and the scar, and I dropped, nearly collapsed on the floor. And she caught me before I hit the floor. And I turned around, and she stood me up, and I turned around, and I grabbed a hold of her, and I held on to her, and I cried. For as long as I cried, she held me. And I felt her spirit, and she cried with me. And she did not move. She was my mountain that day. That was the toughest day that I had in my life. After that, I knew that, if I made it through that moment, that I could make it through anything. You see, because I'm a fighter. I'm a survivor. And that's what it's about. I started to join a support group here at Shady Grove, and there were survivors there, and they were just absolutely awesome. The friendships that I've made here in the support group, and even in the hospital and the nurses, are ongoing and lifelong, and I've learned through the support group. Celebrating our anniversaries together and just interacting and doing fun things. It really goes a long way to help in your recovery and staying cancer-free. Even though I've hated having to live with cancer and live with the disease and the scars and everything, I am just so much more a better person inside because of it. And so I don't regret it, going through my battle or fight it all. I've won the battle. I've won the war.